Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can be subscribed to my channel as well as the notification button so you can know when I get new videos out. So I am here because I want to show you guys my labor and delivery story. I've been trying to film this video for so long, but with a newborn and a 2-year-old toddler, it gets kind of stressful in the house. So I finally got some time to myself, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys in on the story. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, so we are going to start on Tuesday, April 25th. He was born on Wednesday, April 26th. So Tuesday, I woke up. Everything was okay at first, but as the morning kind of went on, I started getting these pains and stuff in my belly, and I'm like, well, I don't know what it is. I was scheduled to have an induction that Thursday, so he was born on Wednesday. I was supposed to be induced that Thursday. Um, because he didn't show any signs of coming. I was only dilated in 2 centimeters, 2.5, maybe if I'm pushing it. But when I woke up this morning, I just didn't feel right. Something didn't feel right. I didn't think that anything was wrong. Something didn't feel right. So I kind of went on throughout the day just dealing with it and things like that, hoping that it would get better, but it didn't. So around about 5, I finally told my boyfriend, I think we need to go into the triage. I think that I'm going into labor today. Like, that's what it felt like. It felt like I was going into labor. So we packed up the kid. Well, I was going to say kids, but we only had one at the time. So we packed up my daughter and we headed over to the hospital, which the hospital's only like 5 minutes away. So better safe than sorry. So we headed over to the hospital. We get there, they check me in and things like that. They get me started on the machine to see my contractions and stuff. Mind you, I feel like my contractions are coming every 10 minutes. At this point, it was just every 10 minutes. But it was getting so intense, it didn't feel like regular Braxton Hicks. So they hooked me up to the machine and they're monitoring the contractions. I'm there for about an hour and a half at most. I'm not dilated anymore, but my contractions are still coming about every 10 minutes. So the nurse is like, well, you know what? You're only still 2 centimeters. Your contractions are getting closer together, so we're just going to send you home. Mind you, I'm almost 40 weeks pregnant. I'm tired of being pregnant. I was huge. I was ready to be back to myself. So she's like, we're going to send you home. So at this point, I'm very upset. I'm thinking I'm going to have my baby today, but no, back home we go. We'll try again tomorrow. So we leave there, we get back home. I go ahead and I eat, so I ate some spaghetti or whatever. And as the evening starts to approach, my contractions do start getting closer together. But at this point, since I had already been to the doctor and, they sent me home, they said, was there anything going to happen? I was just going to wait until that Thursday and go ahead and be induced. So 10, 11 rolls around. 10, 11 o'clock at night. So we get through the day. It's about 10, 11 o'clock. I'm getting my daughter ready to go to bed. We're taking baths and things like that. And the contractions get so unbearable. I could not get off the toilet. I know that this may be TMI, but I couldn't get off the toilet. So I'm just sitting there, and every contraction, I'm just sitting there, just in so much pain. Like, I can't explain to you the pain of contraction is. Like, I know everybody says this, but it's like being on your period having period cramps times 1,000. So after my contractions pass, or I think they pass, I try to get out the bathroom, find somewhere comfortable in the house to sit. Everywhere I sit, every time I got a contraction, I needed to get up. The only place I could go was the bathroom. So this went on for maybe about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take a bath because hopefully that'll just relax my body. I don't know what's going on, because the nurse did say that we weren't getting any action. So I'm like, I don't know. It's stressing me out. I just want to take a nice, relaxing bath. So I put some lavender Epsom salt in the tub, and I just get in a warm bath. Best thing in the world. When I tell you it's the best thing in the world, I fell asleep in the tub. Like my contractions, the pain of my contractions had went down, but they were still coming about every 5 minutes at this point. No, 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 no. I'll say about every 7 minutes at this point. They were coming about every 7 minutes. But I had already talked to my boyfriend Eli, and I'm like, well, I don't want to go back to the hospital just for them to send me home. So I'm gonna wait until I can't take it anymore, and then we'll decide if we can go from there. So around so after I get out the tub, I try to lay down and go to bed. Everybody in the house lays down and go to bed. Around about 1, right, these are in hour increments. So around about 1, I get out of the bed. I go in the living room. I start walking around, swaying back and forth, just anything to get the pain under control because it was so bad. I was in so much pain. I'm bent over on the couches in the house, like stressed out. So finally, at about 2:30, I wake my boyfriend up. I text my sister, like, okay, you guys, I think it's starting to have this baby. Like, my contractions are probably every 2 to 3 minutes apart at this time, and it's like 2:30 in the morning. So I'm like, I'm in labor. There's no denying it. I'm in labor now. Like, they're coming every 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm trying to get them up, but mind you, it's like 2:30 in the morning. So my boyfriend goes, well, can't you wait till the morning and we just go back to the doctor in the morning? I'm looking at him like, are you serious? Like, I'm telling you, I'm in labor and you're asleep, so you're telling me that I have to wait until the morning? No. So, and my sister's like, it's something wrong with my car. I can't make it to you right now. I'm like, are y'all serious? So my boyfriend's like, well, do you need me to call you the ambulance? Because I'm too tired to drive, and I don't think that I'll be able to make it, and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't care what you do at this point. Like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, this was a very angry morning. So I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. So you need to wake up. Like, trying to wake everybody up this day was insane. So he calls 911. So he's on the while he's calling 911, I'm in the bathroom on the toilet. Contractions still coming every 2 to 3 minutes at this point. So he's on the phone and he's answering all these questions, and the EMT goes, well, don't let her sit on the toilet. He's like, she's already on the toilet. He's like, well, get her off. And it's funny right now, but it wasn't funny when it was happening, because when he came to take me off the toilet, like, I was highly upset. Like, it hurts. I don't want to go anywhere. So the EMT on the phone is like telling him, lay her down flat with towels, basically like giving my boyfriend the whole rundown on how to deliver a baby. So he's finally awake now, like, oh, this is serious. The baby's coming. I'm like, duh. So as soon as the EMT tells him to lay me down so he can check and get ready to see if the baby's coming, the fire department knocks on the door. Perfect timing. Not for me. So he lets the fire department in the house. I'm laid out in my living room, legs wide open in the middle of a contraction with a living room full of firemen. great. I'm not worried about any of them though. Like I'm still having contractions. I'm grabbing whoever's closest to me, squeezing them until my contraction is over. So they get me down, they get me in the truck, and mind you, the hospital is only 5 minutes away. So they get me over to the hospital, they get me into the room, and the nurses start hooking me up to the monitors. They're like, okay, we're gonna check you now. Earlier today, I was only 2 centimeters. Now that I'm back at the hospital, and it's about what 4? I'll say 4. I'll say 4. When I first got there, it was 4. So she checks me when I get back to the hospital. I'm now 5 centimeters dilated and highly upset because I had just left here and the lady told me that I was not in labor. So I'm 5 centimeters. They're like, okay, we're gonna keep you. We're gonna go ahead and get you a room. We're gonna let the doctor on call know that you're here so we can get ready to deliver. I'm like, great. When can I have an epidural? She's like, well, you're 5 centimeters. You can have it anytime. We just have to get you into your room and hooked up to your IVs and stuff like that. So if you had a baby, you know that your IVs of fluids have to be gone before they can give you the epidural, which is just whatever the little saline stuff that they put in the back or whatever. So it takes about an hour. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, thinking that we have a couple hours to spare. I'm only 5 centimeters. We still have 5 more to go. So I'm thinking everything's great. So the next nurse comes in and she gets me in a wheelchair and over to my actually maternity suite where I'll be delivering. So, and it's about right down the hall. So she gets me down there. I kid you not. They got me in the bed, with my gown on and things like that. The nurse came back 5 minutes later, and I'm like, I feel like I need to push. Like something in my body is telling me to push. So she's like, okay, well, I need to check you to, see how many centimeters you've dilated. I'm like, wait, she just checked me. I'm 5 centimeters. And she's like, well, if you're telling me that you need to push, then I need to check to make sure that, I don't need to call the doctor in so that we can deliver. Because, when you get the urge to push, that means that the baby's coming. Like, you're almost 10 centimeters or you are 10 centimeters and you're about to push. So, I give in. I let her check me. She's like, okay, well, I'm not too sure, but you don't even have, like, a cervix left. Like, you're 10 centimeters. The only thing that's holding this baby in is your water. Because my water hadn't broke yet this whole time. I'm going through all this. My water hadn't broke yet. So she's like, the only thing that's holding your baby in is your water. So I'm like, what are you saying? What? So she's like, well, I'm going to call the doctor to have the doctor go ahead and come in and break your water so that we can really see how many centimeters you're dilated. And she's like, if you feel the urge to push again, let me know. So, she's going around the room, getting everything prepared. When I tell you, honey, in 2.5 seconds, they had turned my maternity room upside down. I had the new thing in for the baby to go in, the little bassinet thing that they put them in, the towels, the tables. They done put the stirrups up. I'm like, wait, I'm not prepared for this. And she's like, well, we're trying to find a doctor, and she's explaining everything to me, like basically you're about to push. So I'm like, my boyfriend's not here yet. Like, I don't have nobody here with me. I'm at the hospital by myself, freaking out because she's telling me, like, I'm about to deliver right now. I'm like, wait, no, it's not supposed to happen like this. Like, no. So, I'm on the phone with my boyfriend, like, where are you? Because he has to get my daughter to my dad and things like that. So I'm like, where are you? They're telling me that I need to push. Here's the kicker. So I'm like, well, when is the anesthesiologist going to come to give me my epidural? She's like, oh, you're too late for an epidural. I'm like, what are you saying to me right now? She's like, Honey, if you stand up to get an epidural, that baby's gonna fall out of you, like literally. So I'm like, I'm really not prepared for this. You're telling me that I have to give birth naturally? Like, who is prepared for that? So my boyfriend rushes in at the nick of time. The doctor comes in and breaks my water, and I'm like, okay, I need to push. Like, I'm pushing. She's like, no, wait. We have to finish getting everything set up. Just wait for me to sit down so I can guide you. At this point, the doctor was out of my head. The nurse was out of my head. Like, my baby was coming, so I was pushing him out. Like, my baby's telling me he's coming, so I'm just going to assist him along the way. So, so they finally sat down and realized that I was still pushing. So I have my boyfriend over here holding up my legs and my shoulders, and he's coaching me. He did an excellent job on helping me get through this naturally. Like, without him, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Like, I would have tapped out. It was the pain was unbearable. Like, the other nurses over here holding my legs. Like, when you have an epidural, you feel the urge to push, but you don't feel the pain. So that's the goodness of having that epidural, because everything's numb down there. So you still feel the urge, you just don't feel the pain when it comes. Baby, when I tell you, I felt everything from his head to his shoulders to the stitches. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. So about, I'd say about 4 pushes later, he was out completely, just here. And he like literally swam like it was disgusting. If you haven't seen anybody give birth, don't, because that's just disgusting. But so about 4 pushes, he was here at 5:45 in the morning. He was 7 pounds and 10 ounces, and he was 19 inches long. He was completely healthy. He did have a slight case of jaundice, but my daughter did too, so I wasn't really too worried about it. They put him under the lights for a couple hours, and so it went back to normal. But other than that, he was perfectly healthy. Healthy. I love him so much. Everybody loves him so much, and yeah. So I want to let you meet him. Listen to me. Listen. It's okay. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. So I'm very excited. All I wanted was a chocolate baby, and he is so chocolate. His skin is adorable. Like, I just adore him in the little hair at the top. Like, ah, how could you not? So please let me know in the comments if you liked our labor and delivery story. Always stay tuned for new videos. We do have new videos on our channel every week. Um, yeah, and again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your family and friends to subscribe. I am Jasta, and that's all for today.